Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, and I welcome both you and your ears to an episode of Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. In case you're wondering who Angie is, I'm Angie, and I'm super stoked to spend some time sharing with y'all some of my experiences and thoughts on living, loving, music, and space travel, or spiritual experiences as I often refer to as space travel. A rather broad spectrum, right? Well, my hope is to always share something that resonates with, intrigues, excites, or perhaps inspires you. On that note, I invite you to sit back, buckle up, and take a little trip out into the cosmos with me. Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, coming to you with episode number 66 of my podcast, Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. I have titled this episode, Here's to Hitting Bottom. It may sound kind of horrifying, I suppose, to some out there. Who the hell wants to hit bottom? But for the last few weeks, it's been running through my mind how grateful I am for hitting bottom. Grateful that things got so bad at one particular point in my life that I decided I wanted to do things differently. I don't know that I really related that moment to hitting bottom at the time, but as time has gone on, my life has changed in so many positive ways. I have definitely come to a place where I can look back and say, thank you. Thank you for hitting bottom. Bottoms come in many forms. I know the first idea that probably comes to a lot of people's minds is the proverbial bottom for an alcoholic or a drug addict. It's usually related to somebody who has reached a terrible point in their life in relation to drinking or drugging. But the truth is, bottoms come in many forms. They can definitely be related to alcoholism or addiction, food, gym, porn, shopping. But they can definitely also be related to divorce, relationships ending in general, work-related, job loss, unemployment, hitting financial bottoms for all kinds of different reasons. Unwanted, unwelcome change bring about plenty of bottoms, if we let them. What's been coming up for me has been how often what might seem like a bottom definitely doesn't seem as though we've gone low enough. As I've mentioned many times on the podcast in different episodes, my big crash came getting kicked out of my house 4 days before Christmas. And that was a shift for me. I really wanted back what I had lost. My bottom was very emotional. I lost the place that I lived. I lost the person that at the time was very important to me. Things were shifting and changing. Since then, I've definitely hit many other bottoms that have included, as many know also if you listen to me, divorce, selling a house, losing my fellowship community, my work community, having to move. But the focus of my topic this week is how hitting the bottom can actually be a springboard into a place of joy and serenity. How hitting that bottom is actually necessary for many to want to change things. And this society that we live in, at least the way I see it more often than not, is not really built on hitting the bottom, feeling the stuff, staying open-minded to the possibilities that could come if I really look at what's happening, feeling the feelings. We're not really a feeling the feelings kind of society here in the Western world anyway. There's a pill for anything, and commercials tell us to go out and cover up whatever it is to make us feel better. It's not about not feeling better. I'm just thinking what we're using to feel better, in all honesty, could be terrible for one person, but could be wonderful for another person. I'm hoping that by bringing this up, I actually bring about a shift within your thinking. Have you hit bottom? What was it like? Did you run from it? Did you try to cover it up? Are you at a bottom right now? Hitting the bottom and not reaching for old coping mechanisms, it offers the opportunity to do things differently. In some of the literature that I read, it'll say, why the insistence on hitting bottom? And the answer is, until hitting bottom, most of us don't want to do the work that's required to feel better. Unless things get bad enough, why would I want to do this other thing? I'm just fine the way things are. I don't know if you've heard the acronym for FINE: fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And I feel like that's really the way I've been whenever I say fine. I used to say for quite some time, I'm pretty okay. I'd get to that place where I was pretty okay. And these days, I actually say I'm great. And somebody recently said to me, oh my gosh, I hope I can get there. And I can honestly say I'm great without wanting to vomit or feel like I'm really faking it, talking bullshit. I really am great, even with the stuff that's going on and the challenges that are regularly presented. It's just part of the earthly experience. But I know that I didn't get here overnight. I didn't just click my heels. I didn't just get better. I had to hit that bottom. And from that initial jumping off point, I started to do things differently. It's a progressive process. So I gently suggest for anyone who may be in a space of suffering that's kind of been maybe continued suffering, long-term suffering, things are pretty okay. As my teacher, I'll call him my teacher. I really do love him. I've never met him. Michael Singer. Yep, if you're listening, I love you. You're my teacher. And Pema Chodron especially. Also Eckhart. But Michael Singer, he'll regularly say, we have the energy within us to feel fantastic all the time. I certainly still have some doubt, but it's small doubt because with the work that I've continued to do on myself, I feel better than I really have ever thought possible. I continue to feel better as I work at letting go of whatever's keeping me from feeling that energy, feeling that joy and serenity more often than not. I can still certainly fall backwards. My intention is not to put out there that we're never going to feel terrible. We're never going to be sad. Stuff is going to happen. Things are going to take place. I'm going to hit some different bottoms. I'm pretty positive. But I understand today that that bottom can be my springboard. I have to hit it. A friend of mine mentioned that she was the mattress for an important person in her life. When he would fall, she was the mattress. Instead of allowing our loved ones, the people close to us, instead of allowing them to hit their own bottoms, as I've heard it, the dignity to walk their path and deal with the consequences of their actions. Consequences aren't always terrible. Consequences can be really great. But when somebody is suffering or has made a poor decision and I want to help them, sometimes my helping is not necessarily so altruistic. Sometimes my helping them is so that I feel better or that I don't have to withstand the discomfort of their discomfort. And so allowing them to hit bottom is actually an act of kindness and can be a real act of love. I'm pretty sure there are people out there who will say bullshit, but I know from personal experience that people picking me up and covering up for my actions or taking care of me when I could take care of myself, there's a fine line of enabling and getting in the way of my growth. I don't want to get in the way of anybody else's growth either. What I'm talking about really is coming from my own personal experience, which is why my desire is to really just share this with others. If you're teetering on the edge and are afraid to fall and feel the full impact of whatever it is you've got going on, I'm going to say take the fall and see what happens from there. We have so many options. When I hit bottom and I don't reach for those old coping mechanisms, as I've mentioned, it offers the opportunity, yes, to do things differently. Go to a 12-step meeting. Go to a grief support meeting, a divorce group meeting. Are you struggling? Are you isolating? It may seem like the end of the world to actually have to call and ask for help. I remember I was 50. Very, very dark time in my life. I think I was already divorced at the time, getting ready to move, had no idea how life was really going to play out. And I would not have necessarily called myself suicidal at the time, But at the suggestion of a friend, I was calling the suicide hotline. I was willing to do what was required to help myself get out of the hole. There is a climbing out point, regardless of how much work we do on ourselves. As I've mentioned, it's not about avoiding the bottoms, but it's about having the wherewithal to climb instead of somehow trying to soothe it repeatedly. I can ask for help. I did call the grief support hotline. I called the suicide hotline. I called the local helpline. I was talking to a therapist. I still talk to a therapist today. I'm so grateful for him. He's definitely my cheerleader. And that's in addition to the other support systems that I have. I reach out to family and friends. I have a fellowship community and people that I talk to and meet with on a regular basis. You can plug into your faith community. Are you already part of a church or a religious affiliation, if that's your thing? Plug into that. Go out and search it out. I happen to know that I have really embarked on a spiritual journey that I never expected to be on. And this will go back actually quite a few years ago. Too many that I really want to think about. Could be 20 years ago. I was working at this restaurant up in Beaver Creek in Colorado, the Golden Eagle. I worked there for a long time. It's still open. So if you happen to be a skier, snowboarder, and you end up in Beaver Creek, go eat at the Golden Eagle. It's still there. It's one of the original restaurants. Delicious. Anyway, it was almost 4:00, which was closing time for lunch. And this gentleman came in, and I was pretty miserable at the time. I waited on him, and he ended up giving me this book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. It began a further level of my spiritual growth, and I've really never turned back. I listen to a ton of stuff now that has just continued to skyrocket me into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th dimension. I really do love Michael Singer. His practices and suggestions are simple to a certain extent, and I throw it out there all the time. This is his stuff. Start with the weather and the driver in front of you. I'm like, that's it. Start with practicing not being so annoyed by the weather and the driver in front of me. I can't control either of them. That simple concept, which can be very hard to enact in the beginning because both things can be very annoying. It's too hot or they're too slow. But that's changed things for me because I have a willingness to embrace it. I have not forgotten what my bottoms are like, what they've been like, especially when I wouldn't really let myself hit them hard enough, tried to avoid them, didn't want to feel the pain. I have a lot of stuff going on at this point. I have an older dog. I talk about her all the time, my Marshmelly. I love her. Love, love, love her. She's going to be 14 this summer. And I'm pretty sure, as with all of my other babes, when their time came to transition, that was an emotional bottom, certainly. And I had to reach out and I had to talk to others and write in my journal and talk to my higher power. These days, I continue to embrace what I will call the God gift of desperation. I have a desperate desire to stay in the light as much as possible, whenever possible. Another acronym for God is the great outdoors. I get out and I soak up as much of the wonderful outside air that I can get regularly, taking a walk, looking up at the sky. If you live near the beach, go to the ocean, take your shoes off and ground yourself in the grass wherever you are. There are so many things that we can do to feel better, to grow. I mean, that to me is one of the most exciting pieces of wisdom that I've gained, I suppose, that hitting the bottom provides this incredible opportunity for great growth. But the willingness to embrace that opportunity, I have to have the willingness, that's paramount, or the desperation, which led me to the willingness eventually. But that growth, which used to be like, who wants to grow? What's so hip about growing? I'm grown. I'm old enough. I know everything I need to know. I definitely don't feel that way. And yeah, hindsight is 20/20. You don't know what you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. What I do believe is that we have a pretty big issue with suffering on the planet. There's the problem. Suffering for all kinds of different reasons. Lots of bottoms that we're stuck in the midst of. And we just stay there out of fear of doing something different. So I feel like a solution is to embrace that bottom, have a drastic shift in thinking. Growing is a spiritual process, being open to change. Here I sit in North Carolina, living a life that I did not want, did not expect, but that bottom that I hit in Colorado 3.5 years ago almost gave me this opportunity to make a couple choices. I could make the choice to sit in it, to fight and resist the change that was presenting itself to me. I mean, change is going to happen really whether I want it to or not, but I can resist it and I can fight it. We can push it back and keep it away and hold it off for as long as we want. But I had changed a lot in the previous 18 years. And so out of great desperation and a willingness to surrender to what else seemed to be coming my way, whether I wanted it to or not, I was able to roll with it, literally, down I-70, heading east to North Carolina. And here I am. These last 3 years have been pretty magnificent, challenging, overwhelming. I cried a lot when I got here, but it looks nothing like I thought it would. It's definitely not anything that I would have chosen on my own because I want to keep things soft and gentle. I, at my core, part of the human condition, I think, is to avoid pain at all costs. When I've heard it said also that pain is the touchstone to growth. So I'm aware that suffering is kind of guaranteed to a certain extent. Suffering is going to come around, but I don't have to sit in it. Instead, I can say, here's to hitting bottom. All right. And I can say it with a smile a little bit more certainly now because I have been thinking about this and embracing this thought process for quite some time. I definitely invite anyone out there who is suffering to be open-minded and take a leap and do something different, do something uncomfortable, reach out and ask for help. There's somebody there who is willing to help. And the beauty is of it. So I hit bottom, and instead of staying in the suffering, which really just adds to the suffering on the planet, I can do something different, which changes the world. When I change myself, I change the world. When you change yourself, you change the world. Here's to hitting bottom and then using it like a springboard or a trampoline to your own joy and serenity. It's possible. Very, very possible and available to everyone. I feel like maybe it sounds a little hokey because I'm really fucking happy. I really am. I can say I don't sit in the space of waiting for the next ball to drop or waiting for the next shoe to drop, whatever the saying is. I can honestly say I have come to a place where my suffering is so much less and my fear around hitting bottom is so much less also. It hurts. I know it hurts. I have definitely felt it, but the feeling does pass. By sitting in it, by feeling it, by doing the things and asking for help, life plays out in this incredible way. And that's available to everyone. So I'll say it one more time. Here's to hitting bottom. Here's to hitting bottom and climbing your way up to the bright light that is waiting at the top of the hole. I think that's what I've got for now. I appreciate y'all for listening. Bye for now. So we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks so very much for listening. It's now time to reconnect to planet Earth and all that comes with living on the blue ball. I'd love to hear your ideas for future episode topics, along with any and all positive and/or constructive feedback. Please feel free to contact me at ashybadass@gmail.com. Thanks again for spending some time with me and allowing me to share myself with you. Until next time, Please be gentle with yourselves, be kind to animals, and do all you can to allow your authentic selves to shine brightly.